Peace, everybody. Snotty Nose. I am here. We're going to talk about a brief overview of holistic living and nutrition, and we're going to talk about our week one of our 30-day challenge. So let's get into it. This week, you will be getting rid of anything that no longer serves you in your current journey. This means any food that has been altered from its natural state through cooking, preserving, flavoring, or fortifying processes that are considered dairy, white flour, sugar, breads, processed meats, canned soups, fast food, frozen meals, and sugary cereal. So anything that has been severely altered from its original state will be considered processed. This week we are focusing on our introduction to holistic cooking principles and the benefits. So let's talk about what is holistic nutrition. Holistic nutrition is basically anything that you're consuming. It must be good for your mind, body, and your spirit as a collective. So it just, not just to make your body feel good, but it has to make you mentally feel good and spiritually feel good as well. These are high vibrational foods, which we'll talk about later. Let's talk about diet types, because in the health and wellness community, there's so many terms for what type of diet plan that you should have: vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, paleo, alkaline, and the list goes on as we introduce new foods into our culture. So what I can say about these diet types is one size doesn't fit all. So you have to be able to discern what is the best for you and what is best for your body, and customize, even if you have to take a little bit from here and a little bit from there and make it something that works great for you. That's what you need to do. And the way that you do this is you start with your foundation of yourself. Like, what works for somebody may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for the next person. So just like I know a lot of people that are vegan, but they are severely unhealthy because all they eat is processed foods. Even though it's like Beyond Meats and all that stuff is not good for you, because if they don't have a lot of soy, they have a lot of sodium. And the sodium and all the other processing things that they do to it to make it taste like meat, you might as well eat the meat. So you find out what the best diet type for you specifically is by doing the blood test first. You need to know your blood type, because different blood types need different nutrients and different diet plans. So for instance, the type O blood type needs a high protein diet, often resembling the paleo diet, which is what I am considered. I am on a paleo diet. I really don't like the word diet because it just doesn't give what it's supposed to give. So we're going to change that to lifestyle. I live a paleo lifestyle. I do high protein, wild caught, free range, unprocessed grains, legumes, meat and poultry. So I do I try to avoid, the typical American farms where they treat the animals really bad. I like to get pasture raised meat if I'm going to eat it, or grass fed meat where the animals are free to roam and range where they will, and they feed themselves. And the animals are only going to feed themselves what is good for them, not what they're given. Type A blood type consists of a primarily vegetarian diet with the emphasis on fresh and organic food. So type A, you guys flourish in the vegan area and the vegetarian area. So you will do really good with those type of diets or lifestyle choices. Type B is considered a varied diet, which includes meat, grains, plant milks, produce, and things of that sort. I don't recommend anybody eat or do too much dairy, because dairy and itself is just, we're not supposed to be consuming that anyway. So I always recommend plant milks, coconut, almond, rice, whatever, plant milks, but please check your cartons. I don't recommend carton milks. I personally do canned coconut milk, and you find those in like the international aisles of grocery stores, because when you look at the ingredients on the label of those carton milks, you will see so many things that are not good for you, that you can't pronounce, and that you really don't need to be putting in your body. So stick to 1, 2, 3 ingredients. If it has more than that, then you probably should try to find a different one. Type AB would be a combination of type A and B diets with a focus on foods such as, plant-based options, tofu, seafood, plant milks, and green vegetables and produce. So this is where you take a combination of really all of the diet types and you put them together and you customize it to what works for you. It's essential to also consult with your healthcare provider or your registered dietitian. I am not a doctor. I do not know if you have high blood pressure or you deal with any illnesses or ailments of that sort that could be affected by certain things that you're eating or blood types. So please, if you don't want to discuss with me personally your lifestyle changes or any of your health issues, please consult with your doctor or dietitian. Holistic doctors, I do highly recommend because they have a little bit different training than Western medicine practitioners. And again, practitioners means they're practicing medicine. So I'm gonna let y'all think on that. But yes, holistic practitioners, they keep the whole body, the whole person, the whole individual in mind when they're recommending certain things and resolutions for certain health issues. During this 30-day challenge, we are going to incorporate daily recipes featuring whole and unprocessed ingredients. Whole foods, if you don't know, are considered to have a higher nutritional value due to minimal processing, fewer additives, and often more sustainable and ethical production processes. They offer more essential nutrients, fiber, antioxidants. They contribute to a better overall health, weight management, and they reduce the risk of chronic diseases. We will be emphasizing on using organic and locally sourced produce. So now let's talk about organic, because a lot of the fruits and veggies that are in the grocery stores, if you're not going to like an international market or like your local farmers market, I would kind of be skeptical about the authenticity of the organic food that you're purchasing. I personally like to be a good steward of my finances, so I go with the route of certain non-organic things. Now, things that you are ingesting that have no peels or you're just from, like grapes and stuff like that, I do try to go organic. If you want to save a couple coins, and because organic really means that the soil has to be untainted, and not a lot of the soil that we get our produce and veggies from at like our Krogers and stuff like that, like the soil is no good, and that's really the problem with organic stuff. Yes, they might have less pesticides, less things sprayed on them, but they still have them, and they're still grown in them. So what I do is I like to give my fruits and veggies a bath when I get them home from the store. So I'll put 2 to 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and 2 to 3 tablespoons of baking soda, and I'll just give them a little rinse and let them soak in that solution for about 5 to 10 minutes. And after that, take them out, store them in your fridge. And that's how you can kind of get all those pesticides, the little insects, and all of the stuff, the fingerprints and things from people touching and picking at the store. You want to get all of that off before you consume it, and even before you put it in your refrigerator. So that's just a little tip on that. Also, I highly recommend when you can, shopping at your local farmers market and supporting the farmers and the gardeners and the people who are there who specifically emphasize growing organically and having untainted, unfertilized, or should I say, like, not sprayed with all those different chemicals and stuff on their fruits and veggies. We will also be talking about incorporating various cooking techniques such as steaming, sauteing, roasting, and baking. These cooking techniques do not cook out all the nutrients. Like, they're less harsh. You don't need as much oil and different things to cook, and they don't take as long of cook time, so that you're preserving the nutrients in your food. If it's mushy, it's no good, because if you don't need teeth to eat it, I mean, why are we eating it? You know, because if it's not green anymore and it doesn't have that crunch to it, that means that you've cooked out all the chlorophyll and all the fiber. So we want those things, and that is the point of eating our vegetables. So let's focus on that. You can still most definitely fry certain things. I would just recommend doing that less. Now let's get into some different oils and what they're good for. Coconut oil is super good and nutrient rich for you, and it does have a high smoke point, making it suitable for frying. I wouldn't recommend it though, just based off of my experiences. I like to use coconut oil more for like quick sauteing or making like plantains, or you know, some type of lightly cooked meal, or to add it to different recipes to give a better flavor. It contains medium chain triglycerides, and like I said, it has a high smoke point. The next one is avocado oil. Avocado oil also has a high smoke point, and it has a mild flavor, so it's great for cooking at high heat. Now, I am saying right. Avocado oil is kind of more on the expensive side, so if you're going to use it for frying purposes, kudos to you. I tend to use avocado oil more for like putting on my breads or making salad dressings. That's what I like to use my avocado oil for. Olive oil is really good. Olive oil is not good for frying. Olive oil, you will have a smoky kitchen if you try to fry, especially deep fry stuff in that, because it has a low smoke point and it's best for low to medium cooking. Olive oil has many great health benefits for your skin, for your heart health, and so many more added benefits that come with olive oil. Let's talk about ghee. Ghee is clarified butter. Now, I know the plant-based community is like, what? Butter? But yeah, because if you look at our focus is not just eating plants. Our focus is to be healthy. So again, we're talking about vegan items, and some vegan items are highly processed, such as the butter. If you ever go into a store and you look at the back of the ingredients of most vegan butters, there are so many things in it that it's just no point. Ghee is literally butter clarified. Like 2 ingredients on the back of whatever your container is, you will see that it only has 1 to 2, maybe 3 if it has salt in it, which it should only be sea salt if it does have added salt. I really like the Simple Truth brand because it already comes like kind of like an oil-like consistency, and you can just pour it, put it back, and it has a really good flavor to it as well. So I have just recently transitioned back into using ghee. It also has a high smoke point, and it adds a rich nutty flavor to dishes. Now, I haven't personally tried to fry anything in ghee just because I think it would be a little bit too rich for me, like frying stuff in butter. Like, I don't know, I might try it and let y'all know how it is. Also, ghee is up there with avocado oil of price point. So if you fry any ghee, kudos to you. Let me know how it goes. The next one, sesame oil. Sesame oil is great for adding flavor in stir fries, and it has a relatively high smoke point. Now, sesame oil has a distinct flavor, so please taste it before you use it, because some dishes it can be good, but you have to really be intentional with how you're using it and what you're using it on. Again, like I said, it's really good for stir fries. So if you're stir frying vegetables and you want a different flavor to those vegetables, and you want to add them with a little protein, and make you some shrimp fried rice. No, don't eat shrimp. But you get what I'm saying. That's what sesame oil is good for. Next is sunflower oil, which is one of my favorites. Sunflower oil has also kind of risen with the price point, but it's still really affordable and cost efficient. I used to also recommend grapeseed oil, but I have recently found out that the way that grapeseed oil has been processed recently is making it really not good for the body. So I I don't use that as much anymore, even though if I can find it, I'm definitely going to use that over a canola or a vegetable oil for sure. Again, please remember that each of these, the processing does matter. So please, whenever you're selecting any of these items, please read the back of the ingredients. If it has too many things in it, don't use it, because different brands have different resources and different processing methods. Okay? These oils we just mentioned offer many different varieties and flavors, smoke points, health benefits, and they make them a great choice for your holistic cooking needs. Also, during this 30-day challenge, you guys will get the opportunity to explore different culinary traditions and flavors from around the world, specifically Costa Rica, where I am right now, because a lot of the things and the staples that are in the States, they do not have here. So I will be showing y'all alternatives and different ways of using different items, but creating the same effect. Okay, let's talk about this sunset just for a second, because it's beautiful and it's distracting me. Okay, we're back. We will also be talking about, during this 30-day process, tips for meal planning and prepping to support a holistic lifestyle. We'll be talking about guidance on mindful eating practices and portion control. Portion control is specifically for people who are trying to gain, maintain, or lose weight. Portion control practices consist of things like using smaller plates, measuring portions, being mindful, and filling up on veggies first. Smaller plates help so that, because sometimes we eat with our eyes, and so if we have a big plate of food, we're going to want to try and eat all of it, especially if you're like me and you don't really like to waste because your parents told you that the kids in Africa was starving all the time. So I try to stick to, I get smaller portions at first, and then if I'm still hungry, I'll go and get some more. Measuring options. Measuring cups and food scales is, if you're really measuring macros and trying to really get a very structured meal plan together, that's when you come into measuring and weighing your food. Be mindful. Eat slowly and intentionally. Now, this is important because if you're just mindlessly stuffing your face, you really don't pay attention to your body or how it feels. I've eaten things sometimes, and on the first couple of bites, I'm like, oh no, this is not gonna work for me, because I'm listening and I'm eating intentionally and consciously, and I'm listening to how my body feels and what it's trying to tell me about what I'm putting in it. Okay, so that's really important. And also, a trick is to fill up on veggies. If you fill up on veggies, which are low calories, that is how you maintain or you help yourself lose weight. Also, avoid distractions while you're eating, because you can't really be mindful and attentive if you are distracted by, the TV or your phone. You're eating while you're on your phone. That's mindless consuming on both ends, really. Be mindful about what you're consuming while you're consuming. I don't recommend watching scary movies, watching the news, watching depressing, fearful, low-frequency things, listening to low-frequency things, and things of that sort, because that in itself will lower the vibration of your food. Okay? Plan ahead and pre-portion your food and your snacks to avoid overeating. This is what I can say, because if you go and try to make a meal and prepare something while you're starving, then you probably won't care too much about being conscious about what you're eating or being intentional while you're eating, because you're just hungry at that point, so you're trying to ease your hunger instead of eat holistically. And please remember that portion control is about balance and awareness, not deprivation. So we're not trying to starve ourselves or punish ourselves. It's literally just about balancing what you're eating and being aware and conscious of what you're eating and consuming as well. During this 30-day plan, you will receive weekly meal plans, grocery shopping lists, a supportive online community for each participant to share and ask questions. You will get educational resources on nutrition, food sustainability, and mindful living. Please, again, remember to consult with your healthcare professional before making any significant changes, because the overall point of this is for you to be healthy. And that is custom to the individual. We will also be talking about and discussing alternative ingredients, like I mentioned earlier, and substitutions for healthier cooking methods. We will be incorporating herbs, spices, and seasonings for flavor as well as wellness benefits. We will be creating balanced and nutritious meals that support energy, digestion, and immune function. Again, I'm going to emphasize mindful cooking practices, such as being present and attentive while preparing your meals, because food has a frequency. You have a frequency, and food has a frequency too. So what you do and consume while you're cooking is important as well. If you're listening to low frequency things, watching low frequency TV, then your food is absorbing those frequencies, and then you absorb those frequencies while you're eating it, okay? High vibrational plates only. That is the goal. So a hack that I do sometimes is, if I don't feel super high vibrational and dance and enjoy what I'm doing while I'm cooking, I will turn on some high frequency music, some enjoyable music to me that uplifts my spirits or brings me joy, something like that, so that that frequency can get infused in the food. And don't watch like depressing, scary, sad things while you're eating, because that is low frequency. Okay. We will also be promoting sustainable cooking methods and reducing food waste. One thing that I have learned to start doing is use every usable part of the produce or the fruit that you're, the fruit and veggie that you're using. If you can, use every part. Like, if I cut a pineapple, I'm not going to throw away the skin or the outside. I'm going to make some pineapple water, or I'm going to boil it and make pineapple tea. And this has a lot of added benefits in itself. Such things as like parsley, the stems, cilantro stems, all those things that we usually throw away. You can throw those in some spring water, turn it up to a boil, and drink it. It's really good for your skin and other health benefits as well. Now, I don't even particularly like papaya, but I love the health benefits that it provides. So what I will do is I'll get a papaya, I'll cut it up, and I'll put it in the freezer. And I will put it in my smoothie so I don't have to taste it. And with the seeds, I will throw the seeds in the oven, dehydrate them, get them a little crispy, and I will blend them up in a food processor, and I will add them to a dressing, because papaya seeds have many great added benefits itself. These are just suggestions and ways that you can reduce food waste and also add more health benefits to your life. And remember, enjoy the journey of nourishing yourself through this holistic challenge. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me and let me know. We are here to support each other. We're here to grow together, and I'm here to help you. So with that being said, I'm out. Peace and hair grease to y'all.